first cinema day tragedy ended really badly. The horrifying truth shocked the world. In mid-2021, a young woman named Rylee Goodrich went on a first date to the movies, which turned into a tragic event. Despite the case being quickly solved, there were many shocking moments during the investigation. Who was Rylee Goodrich and what led to her tragic death? How did the police finally crack this cold case, even after so many complications? Let's find out together as we dive into the details of this gripping case and discover the twists and turns that led to the eventual arrest and conviction of the killer. Rylee Goodrich was a young woman from Corona, California, who attended Grand Canyon University in Arizona. At a party on July 4th, she met Anthony Barajas, a popular figure on TikTok and Instagram with almost 1 million followers on TikTok. Rylee's father initially had concerns about Anthony's chosen profession, but he eventually gave his approval for the couple's first movie date. They watched a film called The Forever Purge, and Rylee messaged her mother during the movie. However, when the movie ended, theater staff discovered both Rylee and Anthony seriously injured and unconscious in their seats. Police and ambulance promptly arrived at the cinema, but sadly, Rylee Goodrich was found dead while Anthony Barajas was in critical condition and unconscious. Anthony was immediately taken to the hospital and connected to life support. The police were faced with a puzzling situation, as no clues or weapons were found at the scene, making it challenging to determine what had transpired. The media quickly picked up the story, and initial rumors emerged, suggesting Anthony could have been the killer. However, law enforcement dismissed this theory, as no weapon was found, leaving them unable to corroborate such claims. Rylee's parents were devastated, and the police were unable to provide any specific details about the incident. Detectives began questioning the theater employees, and based on their investigations, they surmised that the perpetrator was likely one of the 4 individuals who purchased tickets for the sparsely attended screening. The detectives found themselves confronted with the lack of evidence at the crime scene after the murder of Rylee Goodrich and the severe injury of Anthony Barajas during the movie showing. They only knew that both victims had been shot in the head. Speculation circulated in the media, implying Anthony's involvement, but the police disregarded this theory due to the absence of a weapon. With only 6 tickets sold for the screening, authorities suspected that the killer was one of the 4 attendees. Nevertheless, they pondered over how the remaining 2 individuals failed to hear the gunshots. As the investigation unfolded, detectives discovered that one person had bought 4 tickets for himself and 3 friends, leading them to consider the possibility of a group involvement in the crime. The following day, a 20-year-old named Joseph Jimenez called 911, claiming he was being pursued. Upon police arrival, they found him in possession of a gun matching the caliber used in the theater attack. Further evidence emerged when Rylee's wallet was found at Jimenez's residence. The other 3 companions who had accompanied Jimenez to the movies were located and questioned. They maintained they had no knowledge of his intentions. However, they observed Jimenez behaving oddly during the screening, muttering to himself and abruptly leaving to retrieve his gun from his car. They fabricated an excuse about needing to use the restroom, but instead, they left and went outside. Jimenez's suspicious conduct, coupled with the information provided by his friends, led to his arrest. He was charged with murder, attempted murder, and robbery. Subsequently, with the tragic passing of Anthony Barajas, an additional murder charge was added, carrying the potential for a death sentence. Detectives continued their investigation, striving to gather any pertinent information from Jimenez. A farewell ceremony brought together hundreds of individuals to remember Rylee Goodrich and Anthony Barajas, 2 innocent young souls who fell victim to a senseless act of violence at a movie theater. The accused, Joseph Jimenez, confessed to the crime, attributing it to his schizophrenia diagnosis and his decision to halt medication, which allegedly caused him to hear commanding voices in his head. Nevertheless, doubts arose concerning the veracity of his claims due to inconsistencies in his behavior before and after the incident. Joseph Jimenez pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and will remain in custody at the Smith Correctional Facility in Banning. The brutal murder of Rylee Goodrich and the tragic loss of Anthony Barajas shocked the community. Joseph Jimenez, charged with the crimes, claimed mental illness as a defense. However, doubts remain about his motives and the veracity of his claims. Share your thoughts in the comments below.